Hey folks, Sylvia's here. I am in the marketplace. I am here to do this dude's quest. I think it's Redfang the Unruled, I think it was. I've made a terrible error and need your help. I had meant to keep the foul thing in my basement. I had no knowledge of the basement below my basement. That's a weird issue to have. But now she's free in there. Send me to your task. Oh, thank you. Redfang, a giant spider, is in the sub-basement of this home. I enchanted her with some spell work that I'd been using, alteration mostly, but the experiment went awry when she escaped. Find her and kill her, please. He didn't really explain much of what I'm doing here. Anyway, level 3 quest, going in on Elite, makes it level 5. Did my hireling run out? Really? Ugh. My hireling ran out. That's super duper annoying. Normally I would just pause here at this point and start over, but the hireling salesmen are right here, so it's all good. Nope. I'm definitely at the wrong one right now. He's the one I want. There we go. Oh, boy. And I just purchased the wrong one. Whatever. I just purchased the level 4 one instead of the level 5 one. And I need to reset it because I'm going to be taking an EXP penalty for walking out. Okay. Now that that's done with, where did my hireling go? Alright, so yeah. Quest is involving mostly spiders. Some scorpions are mixed in. There may or may not be a rust monster. So you're looking vermin-heavy quest. There's also some traps. Fire traps. Like the one I just ran past, for instance.
Decimated corpses line the walls and hang from the ceiling. Get assistance or failed adventurers.
So, yeah. Spiders, scorpions. I think there's 1 or 2 rust monsters, potentially. There's also a potential troll. But he's an optional. I think he always shows up, but he's an optional. You don't have to fight him if you don't want to. So, vermin-bane weapons, if you're a ranger and you took favorite enemy vermin, which would be insane. I don't know why you would ever do that. But if you did... Did I miss a lever? Lever missed. There we go. Furthermore, the level is also sort of trap-heavy, and... Oh my god. My mouse was going crazy there. That was great timing for my mouse to just stop working. Are we good? Okay. That was... Jeez. On the technical side of things, this video is going, like, really poorly. Yeah, quest is trap heavy. At this low level, even on Elite, the traps aren't really at the point where they can kind of kill you in one shot, unless you're, like, a really low HP mage or something along those lines. If you're a mage, though, you probably have various means to deal with that. And most of the traps are fire damage. So I'm going to use the age-old barbarian, paladin, fighter way of dealing with traps, which is just run through them and, you know, take the shot to my face. But yeah. Also note, we've got these little eggs here. They give you, if you... Yeah. When you break them, you get hit with a poison called arsenic, I think it is. It lowers your con, I think. You can break them with a ranged weapon without issues. You can't actually target them, so you actually have to, like, aim, you know, at them. They don't count as breakables for ransack bonuses. If you get too close to them and you don't break them, little baby spider comes out, which doesn't count towards your slayers or your conquest bonus. That's what I'm looking for. You can just avoid them, but I mean, if you need to like backtrack really quick because you know you run into a champion enemy or something like that, and then you end up like accidentally triggering a whole bunch of them, you might have some issues. I'm also pretty sure there's a fire trap gonna shoot out somewhere right down here. Alright, we've got an optional here. That's our optional. I wonder if he counts as evil. Well, good to know. Also, just on a side note, I'm using a new weapon I looted. What do I got it here? +2 Vorpal Greatsword of Draining. Ever since the update, what is it, 29 came out, there's been a lot more Vorpal weapons dropping. Oh, Jesus. Alright, well, there's the rest shrine. I totally just hate my life right now. Alright. Open up the door, Malaran. Good. Oh look, one of the baby glass spiders. Okay. Well, I got the champion chest, which is nice. Venomous longsword of... yeah. Well, as I was saying before I died like an idiot walking through that fire. I didn't realize I didn't have full HP when I went through it. Otherwise, I would have probably been fine. There's been a lot more Vorpal weapons dropping. And I'm not sure exactly why that is. But yeah, this is like... in all of the videos I made recently, I have not looted any Vorpal weapons. And then after this update, I've looted like 10 so far. Also, Vorpal, in case you don't know, it says on a roll of a 20, it cuts off the opponent's... actually, I can just read it to you. The passive 0.5 weapons damage die is relatively new, so it makes my weapon deal, like, you know, 1.5, whatever. Anyway, though, on Vorpal hit, if your target has fewer than 1,000 hit points, they are instantly slain. If the target has above 1,000 hit points, they take 100 damage. Specifically, the weapon cuts off their head. So enemies that are, like, lack heads, in addition to enemies that are normally immune to critical hits, are immune to it. I don't know how well that transfers into DDO. Like, in theory, you wouldn't be able to Vorpal a Beholder. But, I'm not sure how well that works in DDO. Oh, look, a trap. Actually, I'm going to go back. Alright, or not. I'm not sure if Venom, if that was his name, dropped a chest or not. I got the one from him being a champion type monster. I don't know if he had a normal one. In which case, I just left a chest behind somewhere. Whatever. But yeah, so... it's a Vorpal Greatsword. It's +2 Vorpal. It also has spell penetration, which doesn't make any difference to me. But it also, which I think it has funny, it has draining. On Vorpal hit, your target incurs a negative level, and you gain 2 temporary hit points. The 2 temporary hit points, I think, are, like, utterly pointless on any type of character, but I think they're also kind of funny. But yeah, so giving an enemy a negative level when I'm already cutting off their head is kind of silly, but it is what it is. So I don't know. The Vorpal weapon is actually kind of cool. Especially when I hit, like, with a cleave attack, because I think you make 1 roll for all the enemies. So if I hit a 20 on that, I kill everything that gets hit in the cleave. Alright. How am I doing so far? Nothing. So yeah. On a side note, as a Warforged who's immune to natural poisons, I have a slight advantage in this quest for sure. I know, for instance, on a monk, I always had an issue with it because one of the poisons here would lower your strength, which would constantly put me at the it would lower my strength enough that I would uncenter myself. But yeah, so like I said, as a Warforged, I have kind of a huge advantage here.
Though there appears appears to be a way through the spikes, the high ground seems safe.
Ugh. I think with, like, all the strength that I have, I would do better with that, but... Ooh. Hi, friend. I've Vorpaled him. So yeah, we're gonna... My Hireling just triggered the traps. He totally just triggered the traps. As long as he stays down there, it's fine. I think this is the last lever. On a side note too, the sword just kind of looks cool. I like the look of it. It's like a really big cleaver. Looks more like a falchion instead of a greatsword, which I think is interesting. It's whatever though. Alright, so I'm gonna generally try to avoid hitting these. But I want my adventurer's pack and I want to break those boxes. Dodging these traps is like relatively easy. You know, just don't stand on top of them. It's not that hard. Okay, it might be that hard. Ah, I missed one. There we go. Oop, I actually missed a few. Wow, these throwing axes look really weird. That said, as far as throwing axes go, that's probably the design that makes the most sense. Now, Hireling dude, get up here, because I need some heals. Oh, hey, the traps go off when he's not down there anymore. That's cool. Alright. I'll get one more heal. There we go. Okay, so this room has a whole bunch of poison traps. In the past, they dealt, like, normal poison damage. Is it going to hurt me? Okay, I'm immune to it. Good to know. That is actually a huge advantage to being a Warforged. Wow. Wow. Okay. Yeah, so in the past, these, the way poison traps all worked in DDO was that they just dealt poison as if a monster had poisoned you. In other words, it would lower one of your ability scores. Warforged were immune to that also. In one of the updates, and I don't know which one, they've changed it so that now there's a new element, where, you know, like you have like electricity, fire, acid, sonic, and cold. Now you also have poison. So there's like poisonous weapons you can get that just deal poison damage. And Warforged are immune to that poison damage. So now those traps dealt poison damage. So in the past, you could just walk through that and just have your strength like lowered to 1. Which, I mean, would suck, but that would, you know, you could just hang out in the poison indefinitely. Now, if you go in there and you do that, and you're not a Warforged, you'll just die. Pretty quickly, too, since that fire trap hit me for, like, 70. I'd imagine you would end up taking probably somewhere between, like, 50 to 70 damage, like, over and over and over again. And then you would just immediately die. So I think there could have been an optional scorpion in this area. I think his name was Bile. I'm pretty sure he's not here, because actually when you're in that room, which I was already in, you would be close enough to him to trigger the, like, optional kill Bile kind of stuff. And since that didn't happen, it's pretty clear that he's not here. But yeah, as you can see, this quest has a lot of traps, and I believe there's some fire traps down this hallway. Oh look, a fire trap. I'm going to try to not stand still. Because I'm pretty sure there's another one. Or not. I thought for sure there was another one. Oh, look, there's one. I like how I can seemingly, like, walk through it fast enough. Alright. And we've got a hidden door here. This leads to the optional troll, who I believe, yeah, is always there. And who is also a champion today, which is not cool. Cut off his head. Vorpaled him. It's a real shame, though, that it doesn't, show the effect. On that note, though, look at all those nice chests. That's his champion chest. Ooh, 53 Mysterious Remnants. Not a bad amount. Usually Mysterious Remnants drop in like 5 to, I want to say 15, I think is the normal amount. But every now and then you get lucky and they drop in amounts over 50. Wow, yeah, 3 chests right there. So here we're at the boss. The boss is Redfang. I just missed my Smite Evil. Red names are immune to Vorpals. I don't know if the negative level went through or not. Now, the quest does not end until you pick up the Silk Glands. Yeah, Silk Glands. So if you want to run around here and break the barrels, you have time to do so. Just make sure if you're doing it with other people, one of them doesn't do that. If assuming this is what you want to do. Most people, when you're running, don't really bother with, like, the ransack bonuses. I mean, I like it because I'm in the quest and I want to get extra EXP anyway. Also, I don't like running the same quest over and over and over again. And that's usually what people do to compensate. Like, there's a couple of quests that give really good EXP, so they run those quests like 3 or 4 times. I don't enjoy running the same quest over and over again like that. So, alright, and quest is over. So we'll just recall out here. Snap. A little sleepy and hungry. Alright. Huzzah, you slew the beast. No longer will she haunt my dreams. My dream. Hopefully I will be able to create some type of poison that will kill her offspring. It was simple enough, just a spider after all. What is it that you found? I found another large spider. It has a swollen poison sac that I acquired. This is a remarkable discovery, friend. If I'm correct, this is a sample of a poison from an offspring of my creation. That would mean she is capable of breeding, perhaps at an accelerated rate, and with increased chance of producing spiders possessing of powerful toxins. Terrifying. Thank you again, and be sure to put that potion to good use. Yeah, he gives you a potion there. And then the final end results. What do we got here? Blazing heavy wooden shield of fire resistance. Nope. Keen dagger. Seeker keen. That's like not exactly terrible. Long sword of fire lore plus armor piercing. Hasty belt of shatter. Double shot. Astute cloak of electric resistance. That's junk. Blazing chainmail of kinetic lore. Dire devoted ring of reconstruction. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the keen dagger. Alright, folks, yeah, that was Redfang the Unruled. So I will see you folks later. Like, favorite, comment, subscribe, stream on Patreon, Twitter, Facebook, and I'll see you guys later.